Welcome back to the director's deep dive. We're back in the limousine, I believe is what we decided on.
Stretch
We're
limo.
riding with
Yeah.
Frank Gondali, and like him, we like the simple pleasures in life, like butter in our ass and lollipops in our mouth, and a movie by Paul Thomas Anderson. And we're talking about Boogie Nights. So what'd you guys think? How's it compare to his first one, his debut film?
I mean, much better than Heart Eight, for sure. For
For
sure.
sure.
Yeah.
This was PTA is kind of a big white whale for me as a director. I've seen a couple, but there's some big ones here that I haven't. And Boogie Nights is one of those for sure. It's been
Yeah.
it's only 97. I thought it was like way later for some reason. Maybe I'm just forward in time. But
I thought it was earlier, weirdly. So
really,
when I first watched it, I was like, damn, was this made like in late 80s, like early
70s.
90s?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird.
But yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I'm still kind of on the first steps of the dive for PTA. I'm not fully. I've kind of still at the same opinion I started with, which is I like all of his movies. They're very good movies. I don't know if I consider him to be one of my upper echelon favorite filmmakers, but
Really? Okay.
we'll get there. We'll see how I am by the end. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm not trying to like stick with this viewpoint. And Boogie Nights was like a nice kind of wake up to be like, he's getting his footing here, and he's really gonna start kicking off here. I'd say so. I enjoyed it. Didn't live up to the magical definition I had in my mind of this movie, I think, but overall, really good film.
What was it lacking for you?
That's what I think. I maybe just had this zeitgeisty image of like this being just firing on all cylinders all the time, and it kind of is like a little bit longer. I don't want to say it had like ups and downs because overall, I think it's a pretty solid movie throughout. But just some of the I don't know. I just lost some of the characters and lost some of the like intent of the movie somewhere
Hmm.
throughout. But not that it didn't land it because it landed in the right spot, but I just kind of wasn't there along the way the whole time with it. I don't know.
Okay. I think
I mean, I enjoyed this one too, as much. Like very much more. I mean, I feel like all the actors, all the performances were like stepped up, like all the characters were like elevated. The writing was like spot on, like sharp, quick, like good. Um, so yeah, this one was like a welcome improvement.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is probably my second favorite intro to a movie. Like the crane shot into the Steadicam shot into the club, and then you're like introduced to most
Every
of
character,
the
basically.
characters
Yeah.
within this one simple. I mean, it's not a simple shot, but like a simple idea of like, let's just go through the club and you'll see everybody,
Yeah,
and then
that
you
was
see the
cool.
magic of Burt Reynolds. He sees Dirk,
Across the
and he's like, this kid, he's gonna be a star, and he just knows it, because he's fucking Jack.
Mhm.
He
That
knows his
was
shit.
a
So,
that was a great
Yeah.
intro. I wrote that
yeah,
note, like bouncing around all the characters, like almost like
right.
cosmically. Like this is
Yeah,
you're gonna follow these characters. I haven't seen Magnolia, and that's his next one. I'm pretty excited about it, but I wonder from what I know of that movie, I sense his like cosmic characterness in Boogie Nights a little bit. How they just kind
yeah,
of are all in this same story playing a role, but they're all their own,
yeah.
people.
And like that goes directly into him meeting Dirk for the first time, and that was just like, I think that was the last scene because they reshot it, and you can feel it because it feels so intimate between Jack and Dirk, and he's like, saying, you're a 17-year-old piece of gold and all this stuff, and it just felt, I don't know, I really enjoyed that whole beginning sequence. It felt so like you immediately connect with all the characters, and you get down with Jack and his
Yeah.
his role that he's going to play in Dirk's life, and
Mhm.
for better or worse. I mean, he's kind of like the father figure, and then you got the mother figure, and then the parents that believe in him opposed to
Yeah.
the parents who don't and stuff. So that was just
Yeah.
like a good start to this wild movie. And then as soon as you hit Dirk going to Jack's house to start his career, his journey from that point on, it just takes off, and it's you're buckled in for the whole ride, and it feels like 30 minutes.
I felt
Yeah.
that. I felt
Yeah.
the potential skyrocket once Wahlberg gets like seduced by Burt Reynolds and Lauren Graham's character, and they go back to his place for the first time. I immediately felt like the movie. Like I was like, sweet. Maybe that was
Mhm.
Yeah.
just me, if you know what I'm saying. But um, Uh,
It's
No,
the
what do you
simple
what?
pleasures, man. Simple
yeah,
pleasures.
this is a very horny movie, guys. That's what I'm saying. But the scene right before that scene where he's with his parents, maybe I'm just a little bit too critical, but he's like sitting at the table and his mom's like pissed off that he's never gonna be something, like
Hmm.
that. Those are the scenes where I was like, man, I've seen that scene before. PTA, like I was like, it's like he knows what scene he needs to write, so he wrote it, but he didn't really juice something out of it new. That's like those are the scenes I'm talking about where it kind of dips for me in this movie. And there's not that many of those scenes, especially once it starts picking up. It really does go on a ride, and I think I was there for most of it. But I don't know, maybe I'm just too harsh on PTA, or I think his films are maybe too normal. I don't want to say normal, but there's just not a magic here that I'm latching onto
Really?
yet. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
That shot at the pool party when the woman gets up, smokes her cigarette, douses it, and then they go into the pool
That was great.
and they come out of the pool, and it's
Yeah,
just like, oh my
yeah,
god.
man.
Yeah.
The,
It
I mean, the
starts with
wonders in this are insane.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
the camera work phenomenal,
Film,
and I
yeah.
like that scene too because it starts with like one woman being like, "Oh, can I get some of that coke?" And
Yeah,
it's like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then you see the dude she's doing with, and it goes all the way around the party, and then later, that chick's OD'd. They have to get her out now, and
Yeah.
that's when you're first introduced to Philip Seymour Hoffman's character coming into the party.
yeah,
I was like, that was a very smooth execution of scene, like, and the way you brought us in, brought us out of the party literally, and brought a new character in.
yeah.
That was very, very, very well executed for sure. So
She's OD'd, man. Oh, really, doctor? I mean, everything about like that scene. I mean, the actors in the background are all just doing something. Like it feels like
Mm.
there's not even a set there. They're just
It's
fucking
just like a
live.
party, dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so well constructed, and I feel like because they had such they took away most of his creative freedom on Hard Eight. They even changed the name, from what he wanted it to be.
Mm.
So he started this one. He's like, I'm doing my film, and I'm gonna show you guys what I can fucking do. And that's what this one felt like. I mean, the oneer at New Year's Eve going into the 80s, the downfall,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Jesus.
I mean, this movie is it's like obviously the rise and fall structure, which
Yeah.
the more I'm watching those movies, I'm becoming more harsh on that structure now because I think my theory is that it's actually one of the more easily like the structures you can more easily execute as a writer or
Mm.
filmmaker because it's so black and white, literally, like it's
Mm.
up and down, literally. You know what I'm saying? So like this one, I don't want to say that this movie is the problem because this one is way better than most of those up and down movies. I think I'm just coming to a point now where I'm watching so many of those movies and I'm like, I feel this, I felt this, I felt this, I felt this.
Yeah.
This one kind of it has the better journey to have the rise and fall. It's still there though. I just wonder if it's I can't say lazy because that's not right, but
I just feel like with this one, what makes this one stand out is that the characters more, and like the characters seem more in depth, like well thought out. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. They
like
just
this
seem
giant
very,
family, and they all care for each other.
yeah.
They might not be doing like what we would consider good things, like Jack bringing the 17-year-old into the world of porn filmmaking, but like they care for him. It feels
the
like
heart's there.
Jack actually cares
Yeah.
for him, and this woman cares for him, but she cares for him because she's lost her son. So it's like just the replacement for her, but yet she still has that love for Dirk, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
maybe
what I
that's what
dug.
sets this one apart.
No, I dug that aspect a lot of it too, and I think that could like it just goes like the combination of like the cinematography and like the writing for like as the small character, even like the ancillary characters like Reed and Philip Seymour Hoffman's character, like they just add little spice, to
Yeah.
the mix. Like it's just and like I don't know, like I
It's
kind of
funny.
feel what you were. Yeah, dude. I was laughing throughout
Oh
this
yeah.
movie. Like this movie made me
Got
chuckle so
levity, it's
much.
got darkness, but anyway, sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. I was just saying, agreeing with your point, Matt, of like I think it lost me the intention of it lost me a little bit. I really liked the scene Like it drives home the point, I think, of like that mentorship, that father and mother aspect. Like when Dirk comes home and like or comes back after what is it? After after like trying to steal the
The
coke
Coke.
from and like just like hugs Jack, right? I think that's the
Yeah.
and it's just like okay, this like that's what it's like this young kid, the rise and fall, like
Back home.
the vanity, like that whole that trip that he went on, that kind of
Yeah.
thing. It's
Yeah,
like
this one
so I dug
definitely
that.
is better because I made notes to show like a writer's mindset of like what this rise and fall showed, and obviously it's a little surface level, I guess, but like obviously he's got like a great dick. He's everyone's talking about his beautiful dick. He's got the best dick, and then
Big dick energy. This
yeah,
movie
and
has.
then in the second half he like can't get it up. So
Yeah.
it's like that's a
Imagine.
clear indication, and then I think it's a pretty poignant moment, and they nail it like they wanted to in in the movie. PTA nailed it like he wanted to. Is when he's like jerking off for $10 in the car. It's the same price.
Yeah,
He went down to the same price that he
Yeah.
started the movie at, and that was a clear like mirror there. So that was nice, and it did like emphasize that whole journey. Whereas other movies will just be like excess, excess, excess. Yep, he's going down. Fucking, he went
yeah,
down. This one it
now
did that, but it brought the character into it more. You know.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah. For sure. And I think like part of like the magic obviously is Dirk he's hung like a fucking horse. So like that what I really appreciate about like I guess the magic that he does with his storytelling is like when they shoot his first scene and everybody in the room, like it cuts to everybody experiencing his penis for the first time, and they're like, when the guy like gets back in the camera and really gets in there. I don't know. It's just little things like that that just make this movie so fucking good, man, and
Yeah.
just so entertaining. And little funny thing, Thomas Jane's character, one of the best characters in the movie, and like he's in it for such a short period of time, but he like is
Oh
intentional,
man,
and it's just so.
dude, fucking
Uh,
William H Macy's character throughout
yeah,
this, like, oh my god.
The running
my
What
gag
wife's
is
with
got
his
a
wife.
my
what
wife's
is
got a cock in her ass, or a yeah, no, an
yeah.
ass in her cock in the driveway.
Yeah.
Oh, so sad, such a sad.
Oh,
Oh, I
God.
just felt bad for him. God
Sorry if I'm not thinking about the fucking film right now.
damn.
Yeah,
Yeah, and the way that scene closes out with the guy turning and going
yeah,
towards
yeah,
the
yeah,
action, like it's very smart. Oh, it's very smart scene writing a lot of the
yeah.
time.
Yep.
Yeah,
Gosh.
shit.
I love this movie. Every time I rewatch it, I turn it on and I'm like, I'll just watch a couple minutes, and then I just end up watching the whole fucking thing. Because once you hit the pool party, it's just like,
It's
I can
party
all
see
right, I'm in. You know.
for
So
sure.
I just really enjoy PTA's up there with like one of my favorites directors. So maybe I'm biased coming into this, but I think he obviously, in my opinion, deserves his tag. But we'll see what you
Cool.
guys think. I mean, I don't know. I hope you like him a little more
I'm
going forward. Maybe this is what you guys
I'm
felt
with
with
you there.
Stanley.
No, no,
Right.
I'm with you. I'm with you there. I'm like I'm ready for more. Like
Yeah.
this was like I had a great time with this one. So like I'm like looking forward to more. I know I like There Will Be Blood, so I'm like and The Master. So I'm like I'm just yeah, I'm excited. Almost probably I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I'm excited. I feel like he's gonna move up in like my list of filmmakers too and directors. So just
I'm
after watching all of it.
very interested in your guys' takes on Magnolia because for me, that's one of my favorites of his. So I don't
I'm
know.
really excited for Magnolia too because these first two movies I actually kind of knew what I was in for because I watched the short films and they're extensions of those. So I'm
Yeah.
curious now to see like his fresh like all right, what do I got now to put my hands to the paper, you know? Like what are we working
Yeah.
with?
Fresh,
I
something new.
I think what he like really like knocks out for me is how he starts all his films, and just like you're immediately immersed and ready to just tackle it because the intros are just so fucking good. Like the first 10 minutes of all his films are just like for me, mm, love them. So,
Sucks you
I
in.
This was a cool watch too actually because I've seen Licorice Pizza randomly.
mhm.
And this one has a lot of in common with that movie, obviously, just the time period and just kind of the character work and stuff like that. But I'm actually excited to rewatch Licorice Pizza now as like sort of the follow up to this movie in
Yeah.
my mind, and I'm curious to see how it goes from here, you know, to Licorice Pizza. So.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one too, so that'll be fun.
Cool.
Fun
I'm
rewatch.
excited for this journey.
Me too.
Yeah,
yeah.
man. Me too.
Are we? Do we pick
Oh,
up somebody
man.
else in the limousine? As a way to, or we let somebody out?
Yeah.
We should
Make a
probably let
stop.
Frank Gondali out.
Yeah, he's
You
got
know?
to get out of here, bud.
Get out of here with his weird habits, his simple pleasures. Freak. On to Magnolia.
Yeah.
Catch us next time on this director's dive with Paul Thomas Anderson. We're not stopping. We might have stopped at one club, but it isn't the club.
All right, driver.
Uh,
Driver, keep going. Onward.
Yep, on to the next one.